Right guys, so vlog number 8 I think, and you guys are going to watch this one with me. We're going to watch it all together and I'm going to give you a bit of a review. So rather than this being a full day, this is actually watching back the footage that you guys are going to have up on your screen, talking about the Nationals performance that's just gone on. So this was BDFPA Women's Nationals. I'm going to jump straight into it. Most of the footage, is 2 lifters. Unfortunately, because we were so busy on the day, we didn't get to catch a whole lot more, but let's dive straight into it. So, excusing the fact that the beginning is just sheer chaos. This is Eve trying to get out of a car. So Eve very kindly, our editor, who you'll have had many updates on by this point, came with me to Nationals to lend a hand to do some handling work on the day.
Hi.
So like I say, this is BDFPA Women's Nationals. I had Sarah Watson with me, Iman, Rachel, my partner, and Alexia, and these 4 were competing in their respective categories, and overall the outcome was really fucking good. So the venue, as you can see, was pretty nice. Center platform set up really nicely with the lights top right, and then a whole set of seating for it. Obviously some of these events can be drastically different depending on what type of competition you're going to, and you'll probably see a fair amount of footage with me just chatting to everyone. Probably the best bit about competition day is just getting to know all the lifters. So at this point, weigh-in is already done, kit checks are done, and these guys are now doing their rack heights, just making sure they're prepped beforehand. And there's Rachel being Rachel, who was very excited for the day. Now bear in mind, you won't know this now, but you will know this now, but the night before we'd actually been in a car crash where I've written off my car. So Rachel, having had literally no sleep, yeah, I feel bad about that one. And this is Alexia as well, my other lifter, my M1 lifter at this point. And there's my beautiful self. So, getting to know the venue, clearly, wandering around, again, saying hello to everyone. And again, Eve, being Eve. What a beautiful bit of footage. So this is the warm-up room. This is what we were working with. 3 platforms, which is delightful, good carpeting, a little bit mismatched on the one we were on, but we worked with what we had. And I tried to keep everyone on the same platform through the day. The first flight had Alexia and Sarah in it, so warmed those 2 up together. Again, sadly, I don't have a whole lot of footage of these 2 phenomenal ladies. Alexia broke every British record in the Federation, I believe most of the world records in the Federation, and the total record. Yeah, she's an obscene lifter, but again, sadly, not a whole lot of footage. So this is into flight 2, so flight 1 is happening at this point as well, and Eve is helping me warming up these 2. So Iman is opening her lifter, I believe, at 157.5. I believe that's right, it might be 152. We'll see it when it goes up. Thankfully, we have all of the footage of these 2 competing. So just warming up in the back room. She's a much more structured squatter now. When we started, she was very skittish. She's a huge amount of potential strength, but just developing her skill. And then Rachel, very much a skilled lifter at this point. We've done a lot to develop her ability. You'll see that, like, technically she's pretty spot on, to be honest. And again, having had no sleep, we weren't sure what to expect. So taking an opener of 132.5, we'll let this one just play through. I will admit I was very, very nervous with this. I hadn't been there for all of her warm-ups while handling the other 2 lifters, but with a start command, nice and smooth, and 3 white lights. And again, I was really happy with this outcome. I wasn't sure what to expect, but absolutely fucking excellent. The last lifters of every flight were Rachel and Iman, so here we are. There, yeah, so 157.5 opener, which is absolutely fucking huge. And we've been working a lot on just her slowing down. So she gets the squat command, big breath, very nice and low, very, very smooth. And now holding it. We had a tendency before we got started working together just to jump back into the rack. But that was very, very smooth. So we made the jumps that we'd planned to do. Everything was running pretty smoothly. So Rachel goes from 132 to 140. And Iman then goes from her 157 opener to 165. And again, very smooth from Rach, and a bang on plan to what we were expecting. So then, what do we go to next? We have the 165. So this was pretty huge. The British record for this class was 160 at this point. We didn't see a reason to chip it because we had a lot more on the cards. And we go from there straight to this. And again, nice and low, very strong. I think one of the most gifted baseline lifters I've worked with for a while. Don't get me wrong, she works incredibly hard, but that baseline strength is fucking insane. Now Rach finishing off with 145. Now this is the most she's ever squatted in sleeves. A little behind the scenes, she actually went on to squat 150 3 days later in sleeves back in the gym. But the taper had been perfect to what we'd hoped for. So very, very happy with this outcome. I'll let her show you. Nice and low again. And to be honest, probably had 147, 150 there on the day. But again, given the circumstances, fucking amazing. Like absolutely fucking brilliant. And then we have this 170, a huge squat. And again, up over 10 kilos since we started working together. I know it felt heavy on her back, but a very quick breath, drop straight into it and it flies. I would say comfortably 175 was there, but we didn't expect the taper to be that fucking good. So then we get straight into bench. Again, a really nice setup and one of the brand new Eleiko benches, and Rachel being her sassy self once again. So setting up for bench, again, Rachel's an absolute technician. 65 kilo opener. She trains with me every day, and so lift-offs, everything's pretty well rehearsed at this point, and I think it's safe to say this was absolute piss. Beautiful, really, really nicely executed. A sound opener. With bench, we tend to see a +5, +2 kind of baseline. Iman taking a 77.5 opener. We made a little bit of a bigger jump, but percentage-wise, it's really similar for her level of strength. So that absolutely flew again. A relatively narrow grip. So we should jump now straight back to Rach at 70 kilos. So we went up 5. Looking for 72 top end was kind of our hope. And I think it's safe to say that she very much earned that. So again, an absolute perfect setup. Carpet on the day, really, really good to maintain that foot position. Clean pause, nice and controlled. One of the things I'm really heavy on is these like overly extended pauses you see in some competitions are a bit obscene. The actual rule is the bar should become stationary and you'll receive the press command. So I actually think these were pretty spot on. Now this second one, Iman was quite lucky, she got a single red. That little bounce there, I don't know if you see it, but she touches her chest and they say press and there's a small sink and press. She was lucky to get the one red, so we continued as planned, tried to clean it up a little bit. And then Rachel taking her planned third attempt at 72.5, and once again, very controlled on the lift out. Gets the start command. Spot on, and I'd say that was the perfect attempt selection. 75 might have been there, but I'm really happy with that. And again, 3 white lights. I think she got white lights on every single lift. Now, this was Iman's last one, and again, I don't think she got any red lights, but I did even discuss with the ref that I potentially would have been harsh. Just a little sink there for me. But that is a 90 kilo finish. So we'd gone from 77.5 to 87.5, I believe, and then 90 to finish, something like that. I've made that up, that's completely wrong, but still. Straight into deads, with no pause here, so I'll jump straight in. A 170 kilo opener for Rach. We make a 12 kilo jump from there, whereas there is a 172 kilo opener for Iman. They're just very different jumps because that's what they've been doing in training, but they had the same outcome. So here's the 172.5, and she just stands the fuck up. Again, baseline strength, absolutely obscene. And again, 3 white lights. And then so Rach goes to 182, and Iman does the same. So one goes +12, one goes +10, and then they're both going to go +7 from there. And again, it's just based on where they've been in training and what degree of fatigue they take from those attempts. Now this 182 was Rach's lifetime PB going in. So this was huge to take for a second attempt, but she was absolutely confident. And again, I will not stop speaking about those externals because that is phenomenal. When she pulled it in training, it was a 9.510. That was just so clean. And then we have the same weight, and I think just stands up once more. Very, very clean. So we go to the planned attempts at 190. And at this point, it was clear that the tapers we were after was absolutely as planned. I believe we went 9 for 9, 9 for 9, 9 for 9, 8 for 9. The only miss was Alexia's opening bench. On a bum lift, and we corrected that and we went up as planned regardless, so everyone got exactly what we were after, which is phenomenal. And this is Rachel's 190. Now this was a huge goal for her, and I'll be honest, it made me cry. Absolutely awesome, just awesome. And again, it's the same weight next for a man. These two are the biggest 2 deadlifters of the day. So you'll see that following up, and Rach doing the beautiful thing of shaking all the refs' hands. Funny story, Pat, who's the head ref for that, is actually the person who got me into the sport, but we won't dwell, not my day. Okay, and then this is the last deadlift of the day. Quite quick to set, big air, big push. Again, I honestly think, so 190 was huge. This is what she wanted for the day. So I was really happy with this outcome. I know she had 195. She may well have had 200 in her, but we won't have pushed to that point. And this last bit of footage was just me and Rach having a bit of a cry. After what had been a very stressful night and day, neither of us had slept. The car crash had been pretty horrific. And that's where that wraps up. So there's not a huge amount of footage, but hopefully enough for you guys to know what was going on. What an ending, what an ugly video. But yeah, so just a nice quick review to see how the day went. Absolutely spot on to expectations. Warm-ups were as clean as we'd like. The 9 for 9 for everyone was phenomenal. You see what I mean? So yeah, I just thought that would be a nice and quick one for you guys. So that was British Nationals, some phenomenal lifting. They have posted their individual recaps, so go find them on Instagram. But for this week, that's all it's gonna be. Nice quick recap. I believe that's only like 12 minutes. Hopefully haven't bored you too much. And we'll be back to normal next week. There'll be individual day vlogs. I'm actually gonna be doing a bit more footage from this coming Saturday where I get to train with some of these amazing athletes again. But I'll tell you about that next time round. Thank you for watching, and if you've watched this far, just throw in a comment at the end to say, not dead yet. Love to know who's here. I'll speak to you beautiful people soon. Thank you for watching. Peace.